Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Welcome back to InfoSec Challenges. Hey, Vivek, we appreciate you taking the time to come out to SF with us and out of your busy schedule.
That stuff is always fun, man. I love it.
I agree, yeah, absolutely. So what are some challenges that CISOs are currently facing right now?
I can tell you based on my experience talking to them, they have shared a few things. They have a lot of initiatives, right, to kind of get it done on the security side and compliance side. The biggest challenge they are facing is like they have too much to do, which is not a big problem. No matter how much you have, you're always gonna have a lot to do. But I think the biggest challenge was like, okay, they understand everything very well. They know what they want to get it done, but to communicate same thing and making IT understand the intent of all of their initiative is a very time consuming and tough process for them. It's kind of challenging for CISOs to take their voice to IT. They have a lot of knowledge on the compliance side, and that generally, in a different language than what IT generally understand. What I mean by that is like obviously the various departments understand how they understand from a configuration standpoint or from a design standpoint, but now obviously CISO on the other side don't have that knowledge that how to interpret that intent or that language to their department. So that is really a big challenge. That's not generally in security or compliance, but that could be even to they identify a gap or something, and now just to kind of take it to across the board, and it's quite challenging. That what I can think of.
Yeah, and like they need to know IT too, because if you're the one that needs to communicate to them, then you need to have some understanding of IT as well.
Now that's really a big challenge. So IT on the other side, they can do whatever you ask them to do. If you ask them to enable logging, do this kind of a multi-factor authentication, do this, anything you talk about very specific to a configurations can be done. But the problem is to really, now on the other side, CISOs understand those things differently. They understand, okay, this is a compliance requirement, this is a security frame requirement, I just want this to be done. Now, as long as IT understand what is the intent of each and every single control, and they understand the intent, then they can be successful to implement same thing in their infrastructure. But if you cannot take that in their language, it is always a very big challenge. So I think the biggest challenge is to kind of not just knowing what to get it done for the company, but also to taking that to IT. So there is a one saying: if you can't explain it, you don't understand, right? So
Yeah.
so obviously I wouldn't say in this case like, okay, security executives don't understand and that's why they cannot explain. But we have to understand that they cannot be engineered. They cannot really tell, okay, this configuration needs to be done in this way. So I think, it's kind of, there should be something which understand this language and which understand the engineering side language and connect them both. And that way, now that objective is moving forward and giving executives visibility that, okay, this is the kind of intent and this is what we're trying to accomplish and this is how it is getting done. So I think that is really a big challenge for CISOs, I believe, based on my conversation, especially me coming from infrastructure background. And I remember that when CISOs or all security executives talking about, hey, we need to do this, we need to get this thing done, and then it kind of was time consuming for me to digest that and understand, okay, what they are trying to accomplish. And after understanding that, then I have to think about it, how I'm going to take that to my team and get that implemented from my configuration standpoint, on the network side or application side or other side. So, I kind of felt that pain. So, and also, after talking to many other executives, I kind of get the same, either directly or indirectly, they have the same pain. Taking their voice to IT and explaining them what is the intent of all the initiative, it's a big pain.
It seems like it's difficult on both sides. How do you improve the collaboration between the two?
Something needs to be there, right? Me coming from infrastructure background, so I understood, how we really execute those things, what are being told in the compliance and all those, manuals. And obviously by that time, it's kind of, first it's in a compliance language, which security executives do their best to kind of interpret that into a plain English so they can take it to IT. And then from IT, it needs to go out and interpret it into an engineering language that, okay, now you need to enable logs, you have to tune this IPS IDS in this way, you have to do this in that way. So it's kind of 3-4 steps.
Sounds
right?
painful.
Yeah, exactly. So, obviously I have my own approach. I use a kind of a, my own platform to kind of solve that pain. But I think it cannot be done until there is some way to kind of explaining that this is the intent and this is how it can be implemented in your environment, and which is a very big disconnect. So there could be, I would say, tool is really good help, but again, everyone have their own way of doing things. As long as they can, based on their experience, they can take their voice straight without using any tool, and just they understand IT and have the engineers language very well, and they understand the compliance language very well, it can be done, right?
Sure.
But if they are facing that challenge, they do need some sort of a support or a tool or some sort of a solution to kind of address that pain. Otherwise, they're going to be continue struggling to meet the security and compliance requirements, which is quite challenging.
Yeah, thanks for shedding light on that. At least the foundation. You said there's tools out there and there's ways to get support, but at least you're setting the foundation that at least, you have to kind of get the message across in the right way to certain departments. And so I agree with that, and thanks for your time. Appreciate that.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed what we talked about today. If that resonated with you, then reach out to us. Maybe you have your own challenges. We'd love to share that on this channel. But as usual, like, subscribe, and comment if you're looking forward to more InfoSec challenges. Until next time, stay secure.